Good morning, everyone. I am the Director of Social Media for NAR, and we are joining Lawrence Yun this morning to talk about his second half housing forecast. Before we say hi to Lawrence, Information Capital. Lawrence, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
All right, before we start with the forecast, Greece is in the news. What does Greece mean for us and the U.S. economy?
The amount of export U.S. does in relation to the economy is a very minuscule amount. So the economic impact to the U.S. will be very minimal. However, there could be some secondary impact, which is essentially that when the global economy or there's a nervousness among the investors, people tend to buy U.S. Treasuries, which means that the interest rate could be a little lower, and also this may begin to tip the Federal Reserve into raising rates at a later time. My guess at the moment is October. Most economists think it's going to be September. But the Greece situation, depending upon how it plays out, could be delayed for even a little later.
Okay, so we've talked Greece. GDP fell in the first quarter. Real basically, what is GDP and what does it mean and why is it important?
Oh, well, one can hear from all the presidential candidates to say that if they were the president, that GDP will be rising at 4%. So what the heck is GDP? Well, GDP is in essence trying to measure everyone's income in America all combined, and how is it rising? The fact that it declined in the first quarter is not a good sign, but there are many one-time factors that contributed to the decline. I anticipate that second quarter will be meaningfully positive, meaning about 2.5% growth, and the second half will also be positive. And therefore, the job market should be coming around. So GDP is very important. It was a fluke in the first quarter. I think the second half will definitely be positive.
I appreciate that segue. So you were talking about jobs. The numbers have been relatively good. What makes you believe that the job market will continue to improve?
Oh, well, let me show you the chart on the job market and why I think the job market will continue to improve. So let me see here. All right, so this shows the total jobs in the U.S. One can see that big decline that occurred during the recession, but since that time it's been rising and the momentum appears to build. And I look at the something called unemployment insurance claim. How many people are getting laid off currently and filing for unemployment insurance. And as one can see, at this level, it is dramatically lower compared to what it had been, which is essentially implying the job creation will continue. This is a very good leading indicator about the job market outlook, and therefore I feel comfortable that about 2.5 million net new jobs will be created for the U.S. economy.
Thank you. As I slide back, next time I'll make sure I put down your blinds. For the folks who are seeing the glare on the slides, we'll get the slides up on the research blog, and Adam and I will share it on our social media feed. So after this, you'll be able to access all the slides Lawrence is talking about. Lawrence, the Federal Reserve has signaled its desire to raise rates. How will this impact mortgage rates?
There is a misconception that somehow Federal Reserve directly controls the mortgage rate, and the Federal Reserve does not control. What Federal Reserve control is the money supply and the short-term Fed funds rate, very short-term rates. But the direction of the Fed funds rate can imply what they try to nudge the long-term rates a little up or down. But let me also show you another chart that will illustrate how the Federal Reserve and the mortgage rate moves or not move together. So let me go to the chart here, and if I can find it quickly, here it is. So the red line is what the Federal Reserve controls, and as one can see that it went down back in early 2001, then it was raised, and then when we hit the Great Recession, it went down again, and it has been essentially at zero for multiple years. But look at the blue line, which is the 30-year fixed rate mortgages. It's not moving directly in proportion to the Fed funds rate, which means that when the Federal Reserve raises rates, it does not mean that mortgage rate will necessarily rise in similar proportion or even move at all. But I will say that mortgage rate has been at exceptionally low rates and therefore the direction will be upward. We have already seen some rate movement already, 50 basis point higher today versus just a few months ago, and I think it will continue to climb higher. But just keep in mind, the direct relationship between Fed funds rate and mortgage rate is not clear linkage. Just overall long-term direction is there, but not directly over a short time span.
Well, while I have you here, I will pan back so I'm not right in your face. Let's talk about the housing indicators specifically. And if you want to show us a few slides, or if you just want to speak to what you expect for the second half of 2015.
The housing market charts look very improving very nicely. So let's look at some of the charts. This is the pending contracts, and one can see that it is now at a multiple year high. In fact, we have to go back all the way 9 years, I think 8 years, to see a similar comparable level. So pending contracts are really coming back alive. Now, not all pending contract means automatic closing, so we have to wait and see if the closing activity will pan out. But the pending contract is implying that the buyers are in the market. Now, one other thing about the housing market currently is that home prices has also been rapidly rising. This is the median home price. One sees a little fluctuation every year. That's due to the fact that larger size home gets sold in the summer months, while the smaller size homes get sold generally in the winter months. So there's a seasonal swing. But broad trend is that now we are very close to coming back up to the prior peak level set in 2005. And the prices are moving up because we don't have inventory. Inventory levels remain very low levels, and this is the principal reason for the price increases. And another chart that is worth seeing is that the distressed property sales are coming down very rapidly, and it could hit single digits by the year end. And essentially not that important next year. The distressed property sale, meaning either foreclosure home sales or homes that require short sales approval, have rapidly come down. Some people are saying that there could be large shadow looming and ready to explode in the upcoming months. Well, that's false. One can look at the seriously delinquent mortgages, and that has also come down rapidly. So those seriously delinquent mortgages would be the early indicator for potential distressed property sales. But there's far fewer in the pipeline. And if there is any recommendation, I would say for realtors who specialize in distressed property sales, change your business model because there will be far fewer of them in the future.
Thank you. I will now slide again backwards. All right, so this has been great. All the housing indicators, the forecast. I guess the big question is, what does all this mean for our members and their business in the next 6 to 12 months?
So what it means is that the unit sales, I anticipate that this year will be up about 7%, both new and existing. Existing home is the dominant over 90% of the market. So the unit sales will be up about 7%. The prices are rising at 7%. I think this is a little too fast, given that people's incomes are rising only 2%. But given that unit sales are rising 7%, home prices expected to rise 7% as a year as a whole. So dollar business volume, the dollar volume, it will rise about 14%. So if one is a large brokerage, they will see roughly 14% increase in their dollar business this year. For a typical realtor, is highly entrepreneurs, what we find is that 20% of our members earn six-figure commission income, while 30% earn less than $15,000 a year. So it's highly entrepreneurial. But the backdrop for improvement is there. Some people will be better positioned to catch this rising tide of the improving housing market. While others, it's highly entrepreneurial, and that could be challenged even in a good market. Now, going into 2016, I think the dollar volume will probably increase anywhere from 7 to 10%. So it will be a multiple consecutive years of rising housing market condition.
Lawrence, before I let you go, anything else you want to add for the live audience? I just want to tell you it's been very popular so far, so I'm going to make you do this again. If not, I just want to thank you. So anything else?
Yeah, just one other thing is that I spent a lot of time generating this table, so it has all the detailed information about where the housing market will go. So I'm just giving you a quick summary of it, but on our website there will be linkage to all the detailed tables.
Great, Lawrence. Thank you very much. This has been a huge success, and we've really enjoyed having you. And I'm going to barge in another time soon. Thank you.